Welcome to the Women in Blockchain Talks podcast, an educational platform where we focus on bringing you fresh and unique perspectives on the crypto and DLT space. I'm your host, Lavinia, and I'll be speaking to different experts and professionals who will be on hand to pass on their knowledge. If you enjoyed the show, please consider joining our exciting and diverse blockchain community, which is open to all genders. Thank you for listening. Now on to the show. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be watching this podcast from, to another episode of Women in Blockchain Talks. So today we have the wonderful Clarisse Encontre. Is that correct? Am I pronouncing the surname correct? Encontre?
Yes, that will do. That will do.
I've put a Spanish kind of lingo on because the way your surname is spelt, I think it's Spanish for to find or did find or something like that. So you are the guide this session, the guide of knowledge, Clarisse.
Thank you so much.
So who is Clarisse? Clarisse is a long-time friend, associate of mine. We're both in the blockchain space. She is what is your actual title, Clarisse? Because I don't want to give the wrong information. What's your actual title?
Yes, that's true. A lot of people ask me that. So I'm a production manager at Kryptonites TV.
Okay. So Kryptonites TV is part of Swissborg. Swissborg is a very well-established, beautiful, fun company that is all about. Now, there's a term that you use to describe it. It's when you are looking for the best deals. So what's that word, Clarisse?
So it's a crypto wealth management company, and our main product is the Wealth app, where you can buy and trade cryptocurrencies at the best price with the best execution.
Well, it's better for Clarisse to explain that. But I was also looking, because I know that you can go onto the app to find out exactly the best price, but also where to buy it. It was like a comparison site.
Exactly. It's similar to like a Skyscanner or Booking.com, where you get it. The aggregator finds you the best deals for you in like seconds.
Exactly. And so that's an element of what they do. And then also their wealth management or crypto wealth management company. So that's two prongs. And then they've got this very fun side to them, which is expressed and showcased via Kryptonites TV, which is produced by Clarisse and led by Alex, who is also a co-founder of Swissborg. And they have been long-time advocates of Women in Blockchain Talks. So much appreciation to you, to Swissborg, to Alex. And I am a big fan of theirs. So it is wonderful to have Clarisse here on my podcast, Women in Blockchain Talks. So, Clarisse, tell me, who are you and how did you find yourself in the blockchain space? Now, when I ask the question, who are you, it's a very interesting, I'm not just asking who are you, but who are you?
I love it. Yes. Thank you, first of all, for having me on your show, Lavinia. It's a real pleasure and honor to have been selected. And thank you for the introduction. That was a very good presentation of me and also the work that I do. So in a few words, I am Clarisse Encontre. I'm London-based. I'm a multidisciplinary creative. I'm currently working as a production manager for an edutainment show called Kryptonites TV. And I'm also a creative writer and an artist. Now, the next question is about blockchain. So I have a bit of an unusual journey into this space, and not a lot of people know it. So I'm very humbled to be able to share it with you. Back in 2017, my family suffered from the devastating Hurricane Irma in the Caribbean. So countries, different islands such as Puerto Rico, the British Virgin Islands, were completely wiped out. My family is based in the British Virgin Islands, And I was sending money to my grandmother who needed to do some repairs, etc. And I was using Western Union, which was the easiest, I'm not sure, but it was the fastest way for her to receive money quickly. And I was thinking to myself, this was in 2018, I was thinking there must be a system that's more cheaper, more efficient, and quicker than Western Union. And I did some research and I started looking and reading articles about blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin particularly. And it started to make sense to me that there are ways of transacting money that are peer-to-peer and transparent, and that could benefit anyone. Anyone can be able to use this, no matter how much money you have, no matter in which country you are, no matter what you look like. There's no discrimination.
No barriers.
Yes, exactly. And so one thing led to another, and I became interested in this industry, and I applied for a job. I just took a leap of faith, applied for a job at Swissborg, which is a Swiss-based company. I grew up in Switzerland, and one thing led to another, and I moved to London, and I started working in this space. And I'm learning every single day more and more about this industry, the different protocols, the different tokens, and it's a fascinating place to be in today.
It really is. I feel so honored and privileged. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I feel so privileged to be in this space, to be part of this space, to add my voice to this space, to invite others, or even not even invite, introduce others to this space, because it is so interesting. It is so innovative. And what I find really interesting is that most of the people I talk to who came into this space, they came into this space because they wanted to make a difference, or they were looking for a solution that touched on inclusion, equality, diversity, impact. And this is a common theme amongst many, dare I say it, many, if not all of the women that I speak to. They didn't come into this simply just to make money. It was like, this can make a difference. And I want to be part of this difference. I want to understand this difference and how it can make an impact on my lives and the people around me lives. And that's what always, that's the thing that keeps me motivated and focused in this space called blockchain.
Absolutely. I relate to that very much.
So did your family embrace Bitcoin?
Yeah, so good question. I'm still trying to encourage them to, research about it and learn a little bit more about it. And I think they are ready, but I'm separated from my family because my family's spread out across the globe. But I will make sure that they do at least, own a little bit of a crypto soon.
So you still use Western Union to send funds back home, or do you use?
No, never again. No. I put an end to that. But I do want to. I think it takes a bit of time to get. Some people need a little bit more time to get to know and understand how it works, because it's still quite complex.
Yes.
And I'm still educating my family about it and encouraging them by just showing them what I do. And hopefully soon I'll be able to send them some crypto.
Nice. Well, make sure you send them this so they can see how you started your journey and how it's impacting so many people around the world, So come on, guys, get involved. What about the young people? Are the young people in your family interested in this space and wanting to learn more and get involved?
Oh, I'm not sure actually. I hope so. I think they must be interested in it. I haven't had the conversation about it, but they're interested in what I do. They find it quite you know, they always relate it to the Matrix, or they relate it to like something really sophisticated. But honestly, I'm no expert at all. I'm learning, and I'm just hoping I can teach others what I've learned.
But who, the question really is, Clarisse, who is an expert in this space? There's always something new to learn, and we sometimes forget two things. We forget sometimes that there's people outside of this space who know absolutely nothing. So to them, we are the experts, and two, that we are students of this space, continuous students. And that's what I like, to be quite honest, because it keeps me sharp and innovative, and it keeps the space interesting as well, you know. So every time I think, okay, I'm getting this now, something else comes and I'm like, okay, back to being student mode, you know. And I personally love that. And I also think it allows you to remain humble.
True. Yeah, that's very true.
So, and I think being humble as a teacher and an influencer is very important, because it helps other people feel confident in this space. So, question for you, or going back to my first question, I asked you, who are you? And you described who you are by titles. But I want to know who you are outside of the titles. Like, what is your
Yeah.
purpose? What is your reason for being? And I know there's a term in French that's quite popular, and I can't, raison d'être or something.
Yeah. Ma raison d'être.
Yes, that one. So yeah, who are you? What is your reason for being?
Yes. Oh, wow. I love that question. My reason to live, my purpose on this planet is to help others in achieving what they're most passionate about. I want to be that person that can guide, coach, mentor, support any individual who's struggling or who needs that push, that boost, you know, that guide that can lead them into the right direction. I think that's my purpose.
Why?
Because it makes me happy when I know that I've made an impact in someone's life. I think there's nothing that makes me like nothing more. There's nothing more that makes me be more than that. I think in this world than knowing that I've impacted someone's life in a positive way.
It makes you shine. It makes you shine from inside out, right?
Yes, it makes me feel good, like physically and mentally.
Mm-hmm. I ask you that question simply because, you know, I know where this conversation is going to go, but a lot of people are not aware that I'm actually a coach. So my
Mm.
background is financial well-being, money mindfulness coach, and being a coach is about tapping into people's limitations. This is what I believe. And there is no feeling like knowing that you've helped people get to an aha moment in their life and see and shift their paradigm, and are able to see things from a different perspective that is uplifting, elevating, and empowering to them. So, with that being said, I know what you mean when you say it makes you feel just great. It's like a boom, it's such a warm feeling. It's like magic. It's just purposeful, you know? It makes me feel warm. And I like to use the term, I feel like I planted a seed of possibility in someone.
Mhm.
And I think that's a beautiful thing. And I think it's a beautiful purpose, because we all have light within us. And sometimes that light gets lost on this journey called life due to one thing or another. So people are necessary to help shine a light on that light, or just relight it for an individual. So we're going to touch on that in a moment when we talk about your passion. But before we do that, I want to ask you, as a woman coming into this space, why do you think blockchain is a great place for us, for women?
I think it's a great place for women because there are so many job opportunities, networking and business opportunities in this space. It's it's a new industry, it's a new technology, and I'm not just talking jobs like, executive assistant or personal assistant. I'm talking like software developer, programming jobs. This place is hiring like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're watching this, listening to this, this is dedicated to all women who have a passion, who are working in tech, who have a passion for blockchain technology, for DLT, for this space, and who want to start. I highly encourage to, find a mentor, find a lead, and apply and go for it. It's exciting. I joined. I didn't have a background in finance or engineering.
Mm-hmm.
My background in journalism and consulting communications. So I just wanted something new, and I thought, why not join a disruptive industry? It's an industry, everyone's talking about it. It's all over the news. It's all over institutions. It's so widespread, but it's more than just a buzzword. It's actually changing lives. I mean, there are countries in South America like Venezuela where, their currency is being devalued completely. So they're using alternative means of banking. They're accepting payments in cryptocurrencies. This is insane. This is revolutionary. You never thought this like 20 years ago,
Mm-hmm. We had
using digital payments.
digital decentralized payments even, For those of you who don't know what DLT stands for, DLT is distributed ledger technology, which is the technology that blockchain falls under, basically. If you're unaware, look it up, DLT. With that being, I agree with you. I mean, it is revolutionary and it's giving more purpose and more options to various sovereignty, even to countries, much less individuals. And we see El Salvador have just taken on Bitcoin as a legal tender. Many reasons for that. The president had said, so quote unquote, that basically when they took on the dollar, I think in 2017 or 2007, early 2000s, it was to help the banks. Them taking on the Bitcoin is to help the people. And I think that's quite a powerful statement. So with that being said, my next question to you is what has been the highs and lows of your learning experiences since being in blockchain?
The highs have been joining a community that's exciting, it's thriving, so many different backgrounds, it's just a very innovative space, and it's a great place to network and make friends. I think that's also important as part of our career. It's good to connect with people that you get along with.
Mm-hmm.
The lows, I think in terms of my experience, I'm speaking for myself, and if this connects with someone out here, I'd love to hear your opinion on this as well. But I would love to see more Black women in this space.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to put it bluntly.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I love this space, but I feel like there are not enough women who look like me in a way. And I'd love to see more Black women, more colored women, because that's the group I associate myself with.
Mm-hmm.
So but it hasn't impacted my experience. I think it's more connecting with girls my age who are also passionate about this space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? If that's your truth, that's your truth, because that's my truth as well. I want to see more diversity, and that diversity does look like women who look like me or a version of me. And yeah, I want to see that too. And I think there's a lot of work to be done in the blockchain space just in regards to gender equity, but also minority groups coming into this space who are Black, brown. And yeah, so I do resonate with you on that. And hopefully by people watching this, and that's
Yeah.
always be my objective, is just by showing the different diversity in this space, more people who look like different sorts of people will be like, well, if they're doing it, then we can do it too. And I do get lots of comments all the time as just like, I was really impressed and intrigued and inspired by you, by seeing someone who looks like you. And it's interesting enough, because I hear this obviously mainly from Black and brown women, but sometimes white women will say it's nice to see some diversity in the space. So, you know, it's not about just about being Black, it's about being human, because we're all part of one race, and anyone who is awoke or awake will know that the human race is diverse. It doesn't look just one way. So
perhaps I haven't met the right people yet. So if you are, feel free to reach out to me, holler at me on LinkedIn, on Instagram. I'm always keen to meet new people, new faces.
yes, and that's the thing, you know. One of the reasons I'm so happy that you are on here is because people are going to now know about you. Like, because you've kind of kept yourself behind the scenes, you know, you're the producer. So producers are always in the background. But like you say, there isn't enough women who look like us, particularly, I can't really speak so much for Americas, but in Europe for sure. And so if one is in the background, then people know, I know about you, of course, because you've been to my events and we've connected over these years. But if you're not on the forefront, then most people won't know that you are around and ready to help and uplift and to empower. And I think it's really important with what you said before as well, Clarisse, about you took a leap of faith. Not many people are willing to do that, you know? So if no one's ever said congratulations for doing that, I'm saying it to you now, because it's so important to believe in ourselves and believe in that feeling inside that says, I need to change, I need to do something, let me just try, you know, and if I fail, I'll pick myself back up and carry on, because that's life, isn't it, you know? And there's times when I've gone through situations, you know, like we all have moments of feeling depleted, depressed, despondent, and all those things. And the one thing I always remember and I tell myself is breathe. As long as you're breathing, you've got enough opportunity to make change, you know? And that's the key thing we have to do, to breathe. Inhale, exhale. So, sorry, go ahead, Clarisse.
Very true, very true.
So, based on what you said before, are you willing to mentor people then? If people reach out to you, you're willing to be that guide, be that lead, be that light even?
I would be absolutely more than happy to. And I do mentor women who have just graduated and who are looking for jobs and who are applying for jobs. I've also coached a couple of my colleagues involuntarily during the pandemic. I mean, it was such an uncertain period, and, you know, it was really a period where people reach out to one another, ask for, you know, tips and supports. So I was that person during during 2020, 2021. And I just felt good afterwards. You know, when somebody feels like they are comfortable around you, like for me, there's nothing that makes me happier to hear it than that. I find it so satisfying.
So tell me, so that leads nicely to my next question, which is becoming a life coach. How does it differentiate to blockchain, and why do you feel it has a place in this space, particularly for women in this space?
Yeah, so I like doing things outside of this industry because, I mean, I have several hobbies and I have different interests. Coaching and art are two big parts of my life, and I think in the tech industry there is a need for well-being and especially wellness. I'm seeing it because I mean, yeah, the year 2020 was difficult for myself, like many others, I can imagine. Being away from family, being home, being, not interacting with people, and you question yourself and you reach out to people for that support. And I think I think there is a big need for this, for wellness in the tech industry. And I'm hoping to be able to be able to step into this to this world and be that person that can guide and support. Now there's coaching, and there's also finding wellness solutions. So finding the right tools for a company or for an individual. And those are two areas that I'm very interested in. And I'm happy to mentor. If you're looking for a mentor, I'm more than happy to discuss, talk about what you'd like to work on, where your roadblocks, what is your ultimate goal. Those are, yes, feel free to reach out to me. You, Lavinia, and everyone watching.
So I hear you 100% when you talk about wellness, because as I touched upon, my background is financial well-being, and well-being, of course, falls under wellness. And we, at the end of the day, we're whole. As beings, we're whole. We're not just one piece or one part. And so if wellness is not functioning here, then it's going to affect everything else. If wellness is not functioning with your relationship with money, it will affect other areas of your being. And I do think tech is tech, but tech is created, managed, run, led, built by people. And as people, we need wellness. We need that balance. And so I think what you said, I can totally agree with. And I think it's very important for people to have that space, or have that space created for them, be it in a community or be it in a company, to be human, to feed their wellness, to talk about their wellness, to be well, ultimately. And so again, just going back to my questions, how do you think this can or will impact on women in this space in blockchain? Not that there's a huge amount of this, but for the women who are in this space, how do you think that will impact on them?
I think it will have a massive impact on women, on humans in general, in so many positive ways. As soon as you start putting in the time to focus on your mental health, you'll start seeing changes in your behavior, in your attitude, in your actions. And, at the end of the day is to make sure that you feel good in your shoes. That's the French expression, by the way. It's also something that I strongly, believe in. If you start putting in place wellness practices, you'll start seeing massive changes. And I think at the corporate level, I know that the wellness industry is becoming so popular. It's becoming $1 trillion industry now, and so many companies are putting this in place. So this is definitely not something to take lightly, and I think it's going to impact women in many positive ways, whether it's to deal with managing stress, anxiety, maybe low self-esteem, or all of these things that we shouldn't be ashamed to talk about them. They're so natural. Everybody has mental health. Everybody goes through phases, dark phases, or we shouldn't be ashamed of this because it's natural, it's human, and we need to talk about it more openly.
Yes, I agree. And not only that, but the pandemic has shown that it's hit women a lot harder than it has men, simply because they've had to take on the brunt of childcare, home care, work life, and managing that balance. This is why I hate the term superwoman. Please don't use that term around me. It's like women are not super, when you're talking about super, that means that maybe they're showing super strength, but they're also going to have the effects of super stress, because it's not something to walk through that, to be that it comes with its yin and yang. It's black and white. You might see the positive sides, but there's also the negative sides of being super, so to speak. And of course, the pandemic has hurt a lot of women in the job market. A lot of the jobs are gone. And for some people, their job is a way of them expressing themselves, independence, financial independence, as well as just having their own space to be not mom, not wife, not, daughter, carer, whatever the case may be. And so when somebody's job is taken away from them, and sometimes it's like a part of their identity is taken away from them, then a number of women are now having to transition to a new space, such as blockchain, looking at blockchain, or transition to a new job that comes with its own stresses. So yes, it's just not about, people who are listening to this. It's this, these are data, facts. If you want to go and search it out, you can. And this is a reality for many women across the world, including here in the Western world, in a very busy, time-consuming Western world. And it does have an impact on our wellness ultimately. So I think what you've said is very poignant, and it's very indicative of where we are as human beings, and also how we need to evolve so that we can be the best that we can be inside of blockchain or outside of blockchain, right?
Correct. Absolutely. We're very well put.
Thank you. Women in Blockchain Talks podcast with Lavinia Osborne, getting professional and personal in the crypto and DLT space. A quick break to shout out our sponsors, and a massive thank you to our partners April 6, industry specialists that make moments that matter for brands that shape the future. So with that being said, guys who are listening to this, one of the things that is very important to me is professional and personal well-being. It's always been an underlying of my work, and coming into the blockchain space, there's so much to learn. Like I said, it's very exciting. It's very, very consuming on so many levels.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming up to the 2-year anniversary of Women in Blockchain Talks, and I want more of. Thank you. And you was actually one of the first ladies to come to the events, right? So Clarisse has been on this journey with me. Sometimes she's been more active at coming to the events, but she's always just been there, supporting, and yeah, it just, the last 2 years just feels like it's gone so quickly. But with that being said, I want to bring more of my personality, more of my values, more of what's important to me into this space, because what I have seen and what I recognize is that the things that are very much important to me and my values is reciprocal by many people. It's received, it's what they see as valuable as well. And I think personal development is so important for self. And like I said, being the best that we can be in or out of blockchain or crypto, because before we're anything, we're human beings, right? So I'm really, really pleased and excited to be able to invite and say, or announce even, that Clarisse is actually going to be coming on board as a life coach for Women in Blockchain Talks.
Oh, thank you very much.
So tell us
this journey.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I cut you.
I look forward to this journey with you.
Yeah, so tell us a couple of things that you may, our members, because it will be for the membership, guys. So if you're not part of the membership, then you need to become part of the membership. Oh yeah, I said it. Then, so just tell us, what can our members look forward to? Obviously, you're a busy person, busy professional. And so being part of the membership, it's going to be a case of, what can our members expect from you, or what would you like to impact upon the membership?
I would like to, meet with different women who feel they need to have a conversation about something that they want to work on in their life. It can be positive, it can be, or it can be something that needs improving. But I I'm happy to offer this service and be a point of contact if you need conversations, if you need support, if you need guidance, moral support. I want to hear from you.
Mm.
And yeah, it can be informal, it can be there are no taboos, we can talk about everything. And I hope I can impact someone's life with some of my guidance and coaching.
Mm.
I'm training, so I am in the theoretical part of my journey. I've just begun, but I'm ready to give uh, give some give some of my experience, and I think this would be a good starting point for me, for you, if you're interested in
Mm.
speaking with someone.
Wonderful. So it's all about win-win situations, guys. So Clarisse is not just someone who's just talking about life coaching. She's actually training as a life coach. And the wonderful thing about Clarisse is that she knows about blockchain. She's been working in blockchain for the last, 2 years, as well as crypto. And so, of course, everything is contextualized. And the objective is to be able to give you this outlet, because many times we sometimes think, I really need someone to talk to about A, B, C, and D. Who do I talk to? I don't know who to talk to. I don't know who to turn to. And I want Women in Blockchain Space to be not only a place and a space of innovation around the tech, but inspiration and also motivation and empowerment around who you can be, and being able to get the assistance to touch on things that may stop you from being the best that you can be. Because I know for a fact, I come across people all the time. I've been doing this for a very long time, and we get in our own ways. We make excuses for ourselves. And this is an opportunity for you to level up, to,
Absolutely.
to give your future self the best opportunity out there.
Yes. Cheers to that.
So I hope this will be something of interest and exciting to you, because it's really exciting to me. And I tell you, the conversations that you will have with Clarisse, because the conversations I've had with many clients, it impacts on them for the rest of their lives, because it creates change, and it can be a turning point. And that turning point, it doesn't mean there's not going to be challenges ahead, but it just is that opportunity to be more. Who can you become? Who can you be? What do you need to do in order to be the best version of self, right? And yeah, and I know that many people don't talk about this, especially in this space. And this is one of the key things that makes Women in Blockchain Talks different. So I hope that you will agree with that. For those
I
who
hope.
are listening, sorry I cut you.
Yes, I hope so too.
Mm. And and for just people who are listening right now, you might say, well, I have no idea what I'll talk about. There's some people out there who are scared of investing. There's some people are scared of, taking the first steps of just creating a crypto account, or just, diving into what blockchain is and what it could mean for them. And sometimes just having a conversation about that fear, you realize that that fear is actually nothing, and that you've made it bigger than what it actually is. And it's these sort of things you could come to Clarisse to speak to about, right? So things that are getting in your way, things that are stopping you from being your best version of self. So I think I've said enough, and I believe, well, I'm going to talk to Clarisse about when we can get started. So watch this space. And if you want to connect with Clarisse, then her details are going to be below. And, as I always say, there's many people in this space who give their time and their energy for free. So always be respectful and just mindful that people have a life and they do have a job. So sometimes if people don't come back to you as quickly as you would like them to, it's not that they're ignoring you. It's just that responsibilities are taking a priority. But everybody that I've known in this space who've offered to help, they've always helped, but we just have to be mindful that they're human beings as well, and they have responsibilities. Yeah.
That's right. Thank you very much, Lavinia.
So just to end this now, Clarisse, what 3 things would you like to leave with our audience? Just talking about blockchain, being a woman in blockchain, and life coaching even. Like, what 3 key things?
3 takeaways. Something that my relatives have been telling me for many, many years, and growing up, the older I get, the more it resonates with me. The world is your oyster. I've come to understand what this means. It really means that anything you want in this life, you can have. It's around you. It's out there. It's right there, waiting for you. Anything you want in this life, it's right there. Secondly, be kind. Be respectful. You never know what happens. I think maybe it's the post-pandemic mood that's settling in, but it's super important to be respectful in the space, especially since in the crypto space, there's a lot of tribalism. There's a lot of, even on Twitter, there's a lot of, you get some fights and some disputes. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all here to learn. We're all here to share our opinions. But I want to say this specifically: be kind and be respectful for anyone. Treat everyone equally.
Mm-hmm.
Thirdly, have fun. Make it fun. Make it fun. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is you're doing, try to find the joy in it, because it really makes a difference to your day and to your life.
Oh, I love that. That's a nice way to end it. So the 3 are, guys, the world is your oyster. So you need to believe it. You need to see it. Number 2, be kind, be respectful, because, the crypto blockchain world is quite small. So that's another reason why you should be kind and be respectful. And number 3, make it fun. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Awesome sauce. Thank you so much, Clarisse, for your time today, your words of wisdom. I cannot wait for you to start with Women in Blockchain Talks and offering your sageness of life coaching to the members. And of course, just continuing this journey with you as, fellow human, fellow woman in blockchain as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much to all the listeners out here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here, and shine bright.
Okay, guys, until the next podcast episode, this is Lavinia, Women in Blockchain Talks. Thank you for listening. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram to keep up with our updates. If you enjoyed this episode, then please rate, share, and leave a comment. Your support is appreciated. Until next time.